Jaybird. He's the Iceman. You've tuned into Blue Cheese Podcast, episode 20. Is it 20? It's 20, isn't it, Ice? We've done 20 of these ones.
Yep.
All right. How the hell are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
Good, brother. Just doing my thing.
You had a pretty profitable
Watching fights.
weekend, didn't you? Yeah, you had a pretty profitable weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, we went 9 for 10, so 90%.
9 for 10.
But we went 100% on my bets. The one I lost on, I didn't actually place money on. I only placed money on like five out of the 10 fights, maybe.
That's good. So the Ice Files is doing very good then, yeah?
We're trying.
That's all you can do in this day and age, man. That's all you can do. But hey, I'm here to talk about is it next week, the UFC 275, Teixeira versus Prochazka?
Mm-hmm.
Who you got in that one? You like
that
one?
It is, yeah, June 11th.
June 11th.
Dude, I love that fight.
Why?
It's not the most stacked card, but I like the main event, Glover Teixeira versus Prochazka, this classic striker versus grappler matchup. No. And after studying, doing some research, I like Glover Teixeira in that one.
So you were thinking Prochazka a long time ago, and then you did a little bit of research, and you were like, you know what? I think Glover is going to pull this one out of the bag. Why? Because Prochazka's like a little too young. He's not quite seasoned enough for the belt.
No, I just think he's a little reckless. And it's gonna fall right into Glover's hands if he's gonna try to grapple with him and start shooting in for double legs. And Glover's got good takedowns, man. He's a good grappler.
He's a wonderful.
And the only people to beat Glover Teixeira are all people who have better takedown defense or like really good takedown defense. Look at all of his losses. Corey Anderson was his last loss. Great wrestler. Yeah. Before that, it was Gustafsson. Who's got really good takedown defense. Before that, Anthony Johnson, great takedown defense. John Jones, great takedown defense.
These are all wrestlers that learned how to strike. Yeah. Right? Am I correct in this? They're all wrestlers that learned how to strike?
Yep.
Okay. So you think Prochazka coming in too straight with this karate bullshit and Glover going to counter him, take him down, choke him out? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, or grind out the decision like what he did to Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos, just beat the shit out of him, out-grappled them for 5 rounds, and they're just tough enough to take the beating for the whole 25 minutes.
Just tough enough to take the beating. I like that. Any other fights on that card that you are really excited to see?
To be honest, not really.
Not too many. Just the main event.
Yeah, just the main event. I mean, there's this guy Mahishot on the undercard. I put money on him too.
Okay.
He's an underdog right now. But other than that, I'm waiting for the card on June 18th. I think that's a much better card to bet on.
Well, if it's sports and it's excitement that you want, NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs, they're in like the third round. The NBA is in the actual finals. NHL is in the semifinals right now. Iceman, I know people are waiting and watching and wondering, who do you got in NBA finals?
Ooh, NBA finals.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's the Warriors versus Celtics, tied 1-1. I'm going with the Boston Celtics to win the title.
So they're tied right now. As of recording, it's tied 1-1. And you're picking Boston.
The underdogs, Yep.
They're the underdogs? Now, why are you picking Boston, do you think?
I just think they got some really good defense. I think they can throw a lot of different matchups at Curry and Clay, and I think they're going to be able to shut them down offensively.
Do you think it goes all 7 games, or it just like putters out?
I think 6? It does. I think it goes to 6 or 7 for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, on the other side, the North Pole, as opposed to the South Pole, the NHL. This is the semifinals. I've been watching Tampa Bay. Now, this team is just an absolute smoke show. These guys are killer. Their defenseman got 2 goals in game. I think it was 2 or 3. I just watched it just now. The team is just stacked, man, stacked. I remember watching hockey when Tampa Bay was an expansion team, and they had like a cartoon lightning bolt on their jersey, and people were like, Tampa Bay, what the hell? And then now here they are going back to back in the third round. Is a very, very good team. Who do you think He's gonna snatch.
So you got Tampa
Stanley's
Bay?
Cup. I like. I put a bet on Tampa Bay a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm going with the Avalanche on this one. I think they're just looking insane. That Nathan McKinnon guy is insane. So I think Avalanche should get it done. They're like about to sweep the Oilers, and Oilers got a pretty good team. You know,
Oilers. They got
that's
that one superstar.
Connor
He has
McDavid.
some. Yeah. What does he got? He got something like 16 goals in the postseason already. Something ridiculous.
Yeah, he's
Like
up there.
he's just on fire. But you can't do it by yourself. You have to have an entire team behind you. And the playoffs is the most grueling. Like they say, it's the toughest trophy to win in all of sports, and I believe that because you have 2 seasons in the NHL. You have the regular season, and then you have the postseason, and, and you could be a superstar in the regular season, but then once the postseason comes on, you might putter out, you might be injured. Who knows? Like, okay, so when I was watching NHL hockey a long time ago, there was a player by the name of Claude Lemieux, and he played for the Habs, and he played for the Devils, and he got passed around. Now this guy had maybe 13 goals in the regular season, like all over the regular season. But as soon as the playoffs hit, this guy turned into a superstar, Claude Lemieux,
He's
and
like Iguodala.
exactly right. So he would be brought into a team that was like just about to couldn't pass the first round of the playoffs, and they would have bring him in, and he has all this playoff experience, and he helps the teams, he helps the rookies and stuff. And I'm sure nothing has changed. I just stopped watching hockey when my team lost the Stanley Cup Game 7. I couldn't handle it no more. What about who's Edmonton playing? They're playing
The Avalanche.
The Avalanche, and Avalanche is going to smoke them. They're up 3-0, right? Or is it 2 games?
Exactly.
2 or 3 games to nothing. So
Yeah.
Colorado's a much bigger team. They're a much bigger team, badder team. I think so. So
Yeah, they're the real deal.
Yeah, Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win in all the sports. Do you agree?
No.
No? Which one do you think is the hardest?
No. Yeah, UFC belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because but you got to do it by yourself.
Even though they say,
right? You can win a Stanley Cup and be on the bench. You can win NBA Finals and be a bench player, and So as for you to be the UFC champ, you got to be the number one guy.
This is true.
So.
And let me ask you a question, just off the top of my head. Do you think it's harder to win the belt, or do you think it's harder to defend the belt?
Defend.
I think it would be harder to defend as well.
It all depends who you're fighting, realistically. It all depends who you're matched up against. You know what I mean?
Conor McGregor.
But at the end of the day, defending the belt is usually harder.
Conor McGregor has 0 belt defenses, right? Zip and Pip. He's in defense.
I believe he has 0, yeah.
Yeah, he just wins.
Maybe
even when he was
lightweight.
Yeah, even when he was fighting for Cage Warriors, he never did a defense, I don't think. He won the lightweight and then the featherweight, and then he never did the defense, and he went straight to the UFC, I believe, is the way that his career went. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
What about Johnny Depp's career?
I was just going to say your boy, Johnny Depp, man. The guy that kills the Me Too movement single-handedly. So if you haven't been keeping up with the now and been in front of your computer watching the trial, I just watched the little highlights, and it's very interesting. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard went to court. Of course, you heard about it, but may not have heard that Johnny Depp won the lawsuit. He got awarded, I believe it was 10 to 15 million, which he probably isn't going to get because this chick don't have 10 or 15 million. And then she won some sort of lower case that was for 2 million or something like that. But it was never proven that he beat her. They keep bringing up all these eyewitnesses. Is it true that you seen Mr. Depp get angry at Mrs. Heard? They're like, no, never have I seen that. No, Aquaman. That was the best part of the entire trial for me. When he's all drunk, shit-faced, and she starts squawking at him, and he's all drunk, and he's like, Aquaman!
Dude, that's hilarious.
It's the best shit, man.
Oh, man. Fuck, Johnny Depp's a G. I hope he sues fucking Disney and gets money from all those Pirates of the Caribbean movies he should have been doing.
You telling the truth?
I think that's the way to go.
Now, if he does sue Pirates, I bet you Disney's just sitting there, just arms wide open, but fuck you. You didn't stick beside me when I needed you. I told you this.
They're ready to settle real quick.
Oh,
they don't even want to take it to court.
No, and they want him to come back as Jack Sparrow. I'm 100% sure with all this publicity. And see, I have a theory. I think Amber Heard was like, "Oh, this will be great for my career." Did you see in the she was writing shit like on a notepad. She had a notepad and a pen, and she was like pretending to write. So she's like this, doing this. She's
Yeah,
writing.
she's copying what he's doing.
Yeah, the fucking pen was like this far away from the paper. She was writing nothing. She was writing nothing. Like that's signs of a sociopath, and that's signs of like I think I'm smarter than you, and it's just a crazy bitch, man. Like I
You
think
know
we
what I
got
think
married.
Disney's gonna do?
Go ahead. What do you think?
I think Disney's gonna be like, you know what, Johnny, we fucked up. We made a mistake. Here's an extra 200 mil, and we want you to do next 3 movies or whatever. Where you're gonna pay you back for some money you missed out on, and don't take us to court. And let's do some new movies because I think he's back.
If
Johnny
oh, he's hotter than ever right now, Johnny Depp, 100%. Any movie he puts out right now is just people are gonna want to watch it because you've seen the fanfare when he was going to court. Like he was pulling up in the truck and people are waiting outside the courthouse going, Johnny, and you know he's very he looks like a very approachable person. He doesn't take himself too seriously, as you can tell by the tapes and everything that she keeps playing. It just makes him more and more relatable, and we like him. Aquaman. That was the best part of the whole trial, man. That one and don't tell me what it's like to take a punch. That was it was like peeling back your neighbor's windows and watching, you know, getting all the dirt on your neighbors. It was a good little mask for, you know, all the problems that's going on in the world today. So yay, Johnny Depp, my man. You did a good job.
Yeah, man. A lot of problems going down today in this world.
I believe so. Like, so Tuesday was the shooting in Texas, you know, and then I was reading the news today, and there was two separate mass shootings. Both 3 people dead, 14 people shot. Those are the stats. One in Philadelphia, outside a nightclub, and one in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Like, what is going on in this world today? What is up with the United States? And why are there so many?
What's considered a mass shooting, though? What? How many people is considered?
I think more than 5. More than 5 people that you don't know, right? I would think that. Don't.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking. So.
Yeah, I think it's more than 5, and he doesn't know.
So I heard about the 2.
Yeah, that's.
You know, I heard about the Texas one that happened at the school. And then I heard about some other one that happened at like it was a hospital in Oklahoma. However, I did not hear about these last 2 that you just brought up.
That's 3. That's 3 other than Uvalde, Texas. That's 3 separate ones. One in Oklahoma, one in Philadelphia, one in Tennessee. People are going, Iceman. People are going fucking mentally insane. They need some sort of structure in their life.
Crazy.
Like, what is it? Do you think it's the 5G towers that they put up and they can't handle the radiation, or what's going on?
No, I think like it's a combination of mental health issues, a lot of access to the drugs that people are taking down in the States,
and like the fentanyl, spice, and all that garbage.
No, I'm more like this anti-anxiety medication, antidepressant stuff like that. I think that's stuff really makes people lose their mind, and that's what you're starting to see. You know, the kids at such a young age, doctors are putting them on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, and by the time they're 18, 19, they're losing their minds. So I think that mental health issue has got a huge part to play.
I agree with you 100%. Now they're trying to, of course, redo the gun laws. Of course, because they're always trying to do that. And I don't know where I sit. I love guns, and I don't want to punish responsible gun owners because some idiot with mental health problems. Now, my problem is, how did this fucking mentally ill person get the gun in their hand? They say it's the Second Amendment. Well, you can't drink alcohol till you're 21 years old in the United States. But when you're 18, you could buy a gun and you could shoot porn. That shit does not make sense to me. What do you think about this? I know how you feel about, you know, the guns and whatnot, but what do you think about the rules in order to get the actual gun in your hands? Like, do you think it should be a 3-week process?
So there should definitely be a tougher time, like a more of a background check process into getting your gun license. I think they should make it a little harder to get to. Like they should have just gun stores, right?
Yeah.
Down there, you could in like certain places you can go into Walmart or wherever and just get a gun. Back in the day, there was places like you'd open up a bank account and they'd give you a shotgun for opening up a bank account just to
Now,
get you in the door.
yeah, that'll work. I mean, imagine that you're in a bank and the guy hands you a gun. What? Does this like? Am I the
Yeah.
only one that sees the problem in this? This is insane. Now there's a lot of talk going on. Like there was a good
Mhm.
idea. Mrs. Bird came up with a really good idea. She was like, "Okay, so you know how you got to get your driver's license? First, you start with your L, and then you go and you
Mhm.
retest, and you get your actual
Yeah.
license, and then every 5 years you have to renew your license, right? Well, why don't they have that with the
Yeah.
gun? Because you may
Well,
be
they do
18 years
in
old.
some places.
Okay. Well, like you have a class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, and it should be that way with the guns. It's actually a pretty good idea. Like, have you looked up the
Hmm.
rules on how to get a gun in Japan? Do you know the hoops you have to jump
No.
through to in order to hold a gun, just to carry and get your hands on a gun in Japan? It's like you got to go to
No.
a safety course. You have to talk to the police, tell them why you need this gun. Then you have to do a mental health background check. Then you got to go back to the cops and they do another check upon you. And then they talk to your family and friends. And, you know, it's just this huge, long process. But there's no mass shootings in Japan. I mean, it's only the United States that this shit is happening. Like, what is going?
Okay,
There's
but
more
don't you
guns.
think that this guy can kill someone? I know you were going to say there's more guns in Texas than the whole world. However, do you think that this guy can run over people like with a car if he didn't want to shoot people? Like he could just go running people over with his fucking SUV?
Of course,
Like if this guy wanted
100%.
to kill his grandma, he didn't need to shoot his grandma in the head. I'm sure he could have fucking strangled her and or figured out another way to to cause mass damage. I mean, you don't need to gun to inflict mass
I agree on that point. I 100%
casualties.
agree because there was a guy that ran into Christmas time, last Christmas. There was a guy that ran into like,
Hmm.
what was it, like 13 people in the United States and killed them with his car and all that shit. I agree with you. But it's the accessibility of these guns and how easy it is. You just point and click, point and click,
That
point
I
and
agree
click.
with.
So, and here's another one. Like, okay, we're gonna get off in a second, but I just want to run one question by you. Okay, what is the
Hmm.
what is the means? Why did somebody build the AR-15? For example, I'm only bringing that up because that's the gun that all the gun lobbyists choose to poke holes at. Who gives a shit? We'll say the AK-47. What was the purpose for the guy making the AK-47?
Yeah,
The
I mean, it's same thing with every gun. It's built to shoot and kill.
Yeah, to
It's built
shoot
to
and
kill.
kill
Whether you're
humans.
using it to hunt animal or you're using it to hunt human, it's used to hunt. That's what
Hmm.
guns are designed for. They're used to hunt their prey.
But there are guns that specialize in home safety and personal defense and all this stuff.
I mean, sure, but that's all subjective. I mean, whether you can hunt with a shotgun, whether you want to hunt with a rifle, that's up to you, right? Whether you want to use a handgun for home defense or you want to use a rifle or shotgun, that's really up to you. I mean,
Agreed.
obviously, rifles do a lot more damage than everything else,
Then a
but
handgun, higher velocity bullet, right? It's a bigger bullet, longer barrel, shoots straighter, longer. Is that Would I be correct in
absolutely,
that? So if
yeah.
you like, okay, so if I got a Glock and it's loaded, how many bullets does a Glock hold? 9.
It all depends. No, more than that. It could be anywhere from 10 to 30 if you have an extended magazine,
Okay, let's just say you got the standard one. That's 9 bullets
or
in
a
a
100.
Glock,
You can, yeah.
or you can
Hmm.
get the drum with 100. Okay, let's just say you just get the
Yeah,
standard 9 bullets, right?
or
Handgun.
10. Yeah.
Okay, or ten bullets. Okay, so you got a brand new
Hmm.
Glock with ten rounds in it. If you can't fucking hit your target after 10 rounds, well then you're dead meat, bro. Like we give you 10 chances. You know, there's no need. You
Yeah.
know, if you can't hit your target with 10 shots, then sorry, I guess you're getting fucked. And another thing I want to bring up: nobody cares, Ice. Nobody cares. God forbid, let's say somebody kicked the front door in and you called the police. How long would it take for them to answer? Meanwhile, this guy's chasing you around with a knife. He's trying to stab you and you're trying to dodge and trying to call the cops at the same time. But, you know,
Hmm.
everybody wants gun control. In the most tipsy-turvy time of the world has ever been that I can remember, you want to take the guns away because a couple assholes don't know how to fucking handle their weapons. It's it's baloney, but I also see their point of view.
Hmm.
I'm torn personally.
They got to do something about the mental health problems. That's because that's the
Yes,
real problem, right? I mean, you're not seeing like legal gun owners that are have families like normal people going out and doing that shit. It's always like some psychopath that's losing his mind.
I agree. Like I I think on what are the calls that most mentally ill people are on, like domestic disputes and everything. I think that it should be two police officers and a social worker that has been trained in mental illness and can spot a sociopath or schizophrenic, and just by being around them for about a minute and can see that this guy is not all mentally there. How the fuck do you? I don't know. It's just you get me on this subject and I get all torn. There's a bunch of ideas and such and all this bullshit, but whatever.
Hmm.
You got anything else you want to say, Ice?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, this is Blue Cheese episode 20. My name is Jay Bird. That's the Iceman. You can catch him on the Ice Files. You can catch me on Faith versus Reality. We love you guys. See you later.
Out.